In yesterday's video, I asked the community what type of tips they'd like to see more of on YouTube and on Madden School, because the primary reason why we do what we do on Madden School is to serve the community. We generally have an idea of what you guys like to see, but we don't necessarily always know unless you tell us. So yesterday was very productive in that sense, and the feedback we got was mostly just you'd like to see more defense, and specifically within defense, more blitzes. So that's what we're going to be bringing you today. It is a pretty good blitz. The days of sending 2 or 3 guys and getting pressure are over, so you can't really expect that in Madden 25. But this blitz will send 5 guys, and it will get B-gap heat, which is, I mean, it's not as good as A-gap heat, but there's very few ways of getting A-gap heat in this game. We have, a way or two in our ebook, but they're few and far between. So this play is called Sugar 3 Overload. It's found in the nickel 3-3-5 will formation. This is kind of how it looks by default, except for the linebackers creep up a little bit. To set the play up, we shift our linebackers to the right, and then we re-blitz this linebacker here. And then we just move on over this cornerback, so he gets closer to the line of scrimmage, and he should be the one coming through the B gap here. I'll go over the coverage behind it after we run this play through one time. Before I run it, though, I am 100% aware that the running back will be open. I'm also aware there's only 5 guys blocking, so don't load up the comment section with stuff like that. If you start blocking 7 guys, I'll adjust the defense, so then we'll have a 9 guys covering 3 guys type situation. It's not. This play isn't meant to be some super god nano blitz of the century. It's meant to be a decent play to mix into your coverage. That works every now and then, unless your opponent knows it's coming. So I'm going to run the play through. You should notice the cornerback come through the B gap here, and that's what we're looking for here. You can see how the cornerback comes through, and it's not instant heat, but it is pretty fast. Now I'm going to go over the coverage behind it, and what I like to do behind it. So to set the play up, it's the same as we did before, with shifting the linebackers to the right, re-blitzing this guy. And sometimes he creeps back a little bit farther than we want him, so we'll kind of move him up slightly, and then move this cornerback up. Now the coverage behind it, what I like to do is be a little aggressive and put these cornerbacks in purple zones. I can only do that because the majority of the game I'm in some sort of cover 4, cover 3, 2-man under, where I commit to not being beat deep. I'm going to come up and hit stick you and try to get a couple fumbles every game and assume that you won't stop me once on offense. That's kind of the way I play. So with that in mind, at the point where your opponent stops throwing deep, stops even considering sending guys on streaks, this is the time when you want to call this play. We also put the strong safety in a yellow zone, and we can kind of control him and move him around. Now, this is how the play looks from the offense's point of view. You'll see that the X route will probably be open, but he probably won't have time to make his break before we get a sack here. See, we got the sack before the X guy could even make his break on the post route. Now, I will be showing you one little wrinkle here that I like to call, especially if I'm confident they're not going deep, or if they're leaving an extra guy in the block. So the setup is very similar. The only real difference we're going to do here is to re-blitz this left end, which is on the right side of the screen. And that turns our single B-gap nano into a double B-gap nano. So even if they block an extra guy, we'll still get one guy through. Now the way you want to set up your zones behind it is completely up to you. Again, I like to do it like this. Split the middle of the field into thirds, have the cornerbacks be responsible for that shallow to middle outside part of the field, and you should notice the double nano, the double B-gap nano from both sides. After I run it through this time, I'll show it with one guy blocking, so you can see that even when one guy gets picked up, the other guy gets through. You can see how both those guys got through. Obviously, the guy in the flat was open, but a lot of times no one's really looking to the flat. I mean, it takes a very elite Madden player. Some of you guys watching are elite Madden players, but it takes a very skilled and disciplined guy to look to the flat consistently on a blitz. Again, I'm going to show it to you now with the running back blocking, or we could do the tight end, but we're just going to go ahead and do the running back. It's the same result. The setup's the same as always. So that's how it's going to look on defense. The way it's going to look on offense is we'll block the running back. And you should notice that even though one of the guys gets picked up, probably the guy on the right side this time, the other guy will get through and have an easy sack. Yep, the running back picked up the guy coming through that right side B gap, which allowed our guy, our cornerback, to come through the other B gap. Again, I really appreciate the comments you guys left. It really helps me do the videos, decide what tips to go over, what type of stuff to cover, even what to put in our ebooks and our Madden School 365 membership, because it's really about what the community wants. So again, this should be more of a season-long thing. Tell us what you want in the comments section, both on Madden School and on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you like what you're seeing, hit the like button and subscribe. If you don't like what you're seeing, hit the dislike button. It'd be better probably if you just left a comment. But if you really say, this doesn't help me at all, hit the dislike button. We don't want to show you stuff that you don't want to see. So we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully doing whatever it is you guys tell us to do in the comments section. And I'll see you then.